I just wanted to make a quick video kind of explaining the broad overview of a game that I'm currently developing. First, I wanted to briefly go over the influences of the game. Harvest Moon, it's a farming simulator. It has seasons and lots of people to interact and create relationship with. Then The Legend of Zelda with the islands and the dungeons, and also the overall kind of aesthetic of exploration influenced this game that I'm working on. And then Minecraft, again, exploration, but also building and developing your own style has influenced me. And then also The Sims with the families and the relationships is an inspiration for this game. And now I'll go over the ways, like the specifics for this game, and how those influences come out in this game. So we've got survival with resource gathering and management, life cycles of the people in the game. There's monsters, there's illness, there's professions for each individual, there's combat, there's mining and building, which is comes from Minecraft. Seasons and farming is more from Harvest Moon. Relationships and genetics is inspired by The Sims. The basic idea of the game, it's grid based, so you have these people and then they move within this grid, and there's a lot of strategy. It's pretty strategy focused, and it has board game mechanics. I don't know how to code. I might learn how to code one day, but for now it's very much like a board game. I move the people myself and I roll dice, and I have generators for random events in the game. So now let's go on and talk about the game more specifically. Right now it's called Sovereigns of Illona. That might change. It's based in a world that is made up of small islands, and you travel from island to island gathering resources. The game has basic nature resources, stone and herbs and mushrooms and trees. There's livestock, animals to take care of. There are buildings to build and to live inside. There's farming for food, and there's boats for travel. And all this revolves around these guys. These guys are called humans, and they're the people that populate your world, and you control each one throughout their lives. They're basically your player character, except you have a bunch of them. And one of the most important things about these guys is that they have a life cycle. They do have individual personalities and such, and relationships come from those personalities, but they have a life cycle. So this is Frither and Bina, and they're in a relationship, or married basically, and as the years go by, Bina becomes pregnant, and then the next year they give birth to their first child, who is a little boy, and then she's pregnant again to have their second child, and there they are. So he's now a toddler, and she's born, and she's a little girl. And if you notice, he doesn't really look like either of his parents. He's got these blue eyes, and his hair is more of a reddish color. That's because his genetics, his physicality, isn't pulled just from his parents. It's also pulled from his maternal grandparents and his paternal grandparents. So his hair color, his nose shape, his eye color, and his skin tone, and as well as how robust and how tall he is all based on this genetic system. And there's also some other features that's based on the genetic system that aren't physically apparent, but I'll save that for another video. So the next year, they've continued to grow, and the little girl is a toddler now, and the little boy is a child. Texture, I have to create a texture for each stage in the life cycle. The years go by, and she's now a child and he's a young adult, and they have become middle-aged adults. So they've got some gray and some wrinkles. And as the years go on, she's now becoming an adult, young adult. He's still a young adult, and they become older adults, and they have their whitish gray hair and even more wrinkles. Even more years go by, seasons pass, and they've become elders. They're basically in their 80s now, hunched over, wrinkly but happy. And their daughter has a partner, and their son, who's now a middle-aged adult, has a partner. And as the years go by, eventually they will pass on, and that'll be very sad. It's bittersweet, but they will be succeeded by their grandchildren. And that is basically, that's the basic overview for the game. There are more kind of complex concepts that I'll go into individually in future videos. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching.